The shower hissed in the small bathroom of the space station apartment. Steam filled the air, curling against the metal walls. Alex hummed softly, thinking about nothing in particular. It was a normal day, or at least it should have been. He stepped out, grabbing a towel. The air was cold against his skin. He didn't hear the soft click of the sliding door opening when he turned. She was there, RY, and his alien roommate. She stood in the doorway, frozen, her strange silver eyes wide. Her tall frame seemed locked in place. Alex's mind went blank. He didn't even know what to say. Her skin, usually a calm pale blue, suddenly shifted. Colors rippled over her body, fast and bright, like liquid light. Deep violets swirled into sharp crimson. Alex had never seen anything like it before. "Rin?" He stammered, clutching the towel tighter. But she didn't answer. Her throat moved, like she wanted to speak, but no sound came out. Her eyes stayed fixed on him for 1, 2, 3 long seconds. Then she spun around and bolted the door, sliding shut behind her with a loud hiss. Alex stood there in stunned silence, heart thudding. His cheeks burned not from embarrassment, but from the strange, heavy feeling in the air. He'd known Rin for months, but he'd never seen her react like that. She was usually calm, distant, almost unreadable. But this, he shook his head. "It's just awkward," he told himself. Nothing more. That evening, he found her in the kitchen. She was standing by the counter, slicing strange green fruit with perfect precision. She didn't look up when he entered. "About earlier," he began. "You should eat," she interrupted, her voice soft, but different. There was a tremor in it. Alex frowned. "Rin, I didn't mean for, it is done," she said quickly, turning away. Her skin was still not its usual pale blue. It flickered faintly, like a storm trapped beneath the surface. Alex had learned a little about her species' colors. Blue was calm, yellow was curiosity, red was anger but violet. He had no idea, and seeing it mixed with other shades, that was new. He decided not to push her, but as he sat down to eat, he noticed her glancing at him when she thought he wasn't looking. Her silver eyes flicked up, then down. Her hands moved slower than usual. Night fell on the station. Outside, the stars drifted past in endless silence. Alex lay in bed, trying to read. But something felt off, like the air was heavier, or the lights dimmer than usual. Then he heard it. A soft sound on footsteps. He looked up and froze. Rin was standing at his door. The faint glow from the hallway lit her outline. She didn't move, didn't speak. Her eyes locked on his face. "Rin," Ku said slowly, closing his book. "What's going on?" She stepped forward, just a little, and her voice was barely above a whisper. "You shouldn't have done that." His stomach tightened. "Done what?" "I didn't." A sudden, sharp bang echoed through the apartment, cutting him off. Both of them turned toward the sound. Another bang, louder. The front door, someone. Something was pounding on it hard enough to make the walls vibrate. Rin's skin flashed bright crimson, then deepened into that strange violet again. Her eyes darted to Alex, and for the first time since he'd known her, he saw fear there. Real fear. "They found us," she said. Alex sat up quickly. "Who?" The pounding grew faster, harder. The lights above flickered. "They will not wait much longer," she whispered, stepping back from the door to his room. "Alex, whatever happens, don't open your mouth." Before he could answer, the front door slid open with a violent hiss. 3 figures stepped inside. They were alien, but not like Rin. Taller, heavier, covered in black armor that seemed to drink in the light. Their helmets had no eyes, just smooth, reflective surfaces. Each one carried a strange weapon, humming with energy. Alex's pulse raced. His first instinct was to hide, but one of them turned its head toward his room. Human. A deep voice said, metallic and cold. You are summoned. Rin stepped in front of him immediately, her voice sharp. No, you will not. The leader tilted its helmet slightly. You triggered the bond. The council will decide. Alex's mouth went dry. What? But. Before he could ask more, two of the armored aliens moved forward, their heavy boots shaking the floor. Rin looked at him just for a moment. There was something in her eyes he couldn't understand. Fear, regret, and something else. The leader spoke again. Come, now. Alex swallowed hard. He didn't know what they meant by bond, and he didn't know what the council was. But from the way Rin's hands trembled, he knew one thing for sure. This wasn't about a simple accident anymore. Something had started the moment she opened that bathroom door. And it wasn't going to end here. The change in Rinda ride to the alien vessel was silent except for the low hum of the shuttle. Alex sat across from Rin, both strapped into cold metal seats. The black armored guards stood around them like statues, their weapons resting but ready. Rin's eyes stayed on the floor. Her skin, usually a calm shade of blue, now shifted slowly between deep violet and pale silver. Alex didn't know what those colors meant, but his gut told him it wasn't good. He leaned toward her. Rin, what's going on? Who are these people? She didn't look at him. Do not speak until I tell you. Rin, Alex, please, she whispered, and for the first time he heard something new in her voice pleading. If you talk, you might make this worse. That silenced him, but his mind didn't stop spinning. Worse than this, he was already being hauled off by armed aliens for something he didn't even understand. When the shuttle docked, the guards marched them through a massive corridor of black metal walls. Strange glowing lines ran along the floor, pulsing like a heartbeat. Alex's footsteps echoed. The air smelled faintly of burnt ozone. They were led into a small holding room bare, except for a table and two chairs. The guards left, the door sealing with a hiss. Alex turned to Rin. All right, no guards. Tell me what's going on. She finally met his eyes. Earlier, when I walked in, when I saw you, her skin flickered faster. A wave of violet and crimson. In my species, such a sight can trigger something. Something, Alex frowned, like embarrassment. No, she said softly. Like bonding, he blinked. Bonding, it is, old biology. Ancient, before our people learned control. If one of us sees someone in that way, unexpectedly, and if the mind reacts. She stopped, struggling for words. The bond begins. It links the two for life. Alex laughed nervously. You can't be serious. Just from walking in at the wrong moment. Her voice was sharp now. It is not a joke. Once the bond begins, the council must approve. If they do not, one of us dies. The air in the room felt heavier. Alex stared at her, trying to process. Wait, dies. That's That's insane. It is our way, she said simply. And the council will want to know if you are worthy. If they decide you are not, she didn't finish the sentence. She didn't have to. Before Alex could ask more, the door hissed open. Two guards entered. The council is not ready yet, one said in a deep, distorted voice. The human will remain here. The female comes with us. Rin looked at Alex. Do not leave this room, she said quietly, then followed the guards out. The door sealed. Behind her, Alex sat there, the silence pressing on him. His thoughts raced. How had a simple accident turned into this nightmare? And what did tests or approval even mean? He got up and paced, running his hands through his hair. He considered trying the door, but something told him that would be a bad idea. Then, faintly, he heard voices outside. He pressed his ear to the cold metal wall. The words were muffled, but one stuck out: his name. Alex, followed by a low, unfamiliar voice speaking quickly in an alien tongue. Another voice responded, sharp and tense. It sounded like RYN, then silence again. Arzor maybe just minutes passed before the door opened. Rin stepped inside, her skin still glowing faintly. She carried a small container of food, setting it down on the table. Eat, she said. Alex sat but didn't touch it. What did they say? She avoided his gaze. They are deciding, but until they decide, I must stay close to you. He gave a short laugh. Well, that's not creepy at all. I am serious. She sat opposite him. The bond is forming, whether we want it or not. If they separate us too long, it can hurt. Alex stared at her. You mean physically hurt? Yes. She hesitated, then added, and it will get worse. For the rest of the evening, she stayed near him closer than she'd ever been before. She moved quietly, but Alex could feel her eyes on him when he wasn't looking. Later, when the lights dimmed for rest cycle, Alex lay on the small bunk in the corner. He couldn't sleep, not with the knowledge that alien judges might decide his fate. Then he noticed something. Rin was sitting by the wall, knees drawn up, her eyes closed. But her breathing was too fast for sleep. You're worried, Alex said quietly. Her eyes opened. Yes, for yourself. Her gaze met his. For both of us. Before he could ask why, a sudden loud clang echoed through the hall outside. Shouts followed, deep, guttural voices barking orders. Rin was on her feet instantly. Stay here. But the door slid open before she could move toward it. A figure stood there, not in black armor like the guards, but in flowing dark robes, its face hidden under a hood. It spoke in a low, cold voice. The council has decided. The trials begin. At first light, it turned its head toward Alex. Pray your kind is stronger than it looks. The door shut again, leaving the room in tense silence. Alex looked at Rin. Trials? What trials? She didn't answer right away. A tea, then she said, almost to herself, the kind no one survives without scars. The summons, the artificial dawn on the alien ship, was cold and pale, spilling across the metal walls like liquid frost. Alex sat on the bunk, fully awake. He hadn't slept at all. Every creak of the corridor outside had made his stomach knot. The door slid open without warning. 2 black-armored guards stepped inside. The council is ready, one said, voice deep and mechanical. The human will come. The bonded will walk beside him. Rin rose silently. Her skin was a muted violet, pulsing faintly with silver streaks. She glanced at Alex. Stay close to me. Do not speak unless they address you directly. Alex swallowed. And if I do, they may take it as a challenge, she said simply. The guards marched them through long corridors lit by narrow strips of light. The walls seemed to hum as if the ship itself was alive. At every turn, other aliens in flowing robes or armor stopped to stare at Alex, their eyes cold and unreadable. Finally, the passage opened into a vast chamber. The council hall. It was shaped like a circle, with towering black pillars rising into the high ceiling. 12 alien figures sat in a wide arc, each on a raised platform. Their skin shimmered in slow, shifting patterns, blues, greens, and violets. Some had markings across their faces that looked like scars or tattoos. The center of the floor was an open circle of black, glass-like material. Alex and Rin were led to stand in it. The guards stepped back, leaving them exposed. A tall alien at the center platform leaned forward. Human, it said, its voice like distant thunder. you are accused of triggering an unsanctioned bond with one of our kind. Alex opened his mouth, but Rin's hand brushed his arm, warning him. He closed it again. It was an accident, Rin said, her voice calm but firm. There was no intent. Intent is irrelevant. Another council member replied, their skin flashing a sharp gold. The bond has begun. If it is not proven worthy, it will be broken. Alex frowned. Broken how? The tall alien's gaze fixed on him. By ending the life of the weaker. The words hit him like a punch to the chest. His mind stuttered. Ending the life. That meant one of them would die. A different counselor spoke now, her voice softer but more dangerous. The bond is sacred, was never meant to occur between our kind and yours. Yet the threads are forming. We must test them. Alex finally spoke, his voice tight. Test. What kind of test? The trials, the tall alien said. 3 in number. 1 for body, 1 for mind, and 1 for choice. Pass, another. Counselor added, and the bond is honored. Fail, and the bond is cut. And cutting it will kill her. Alex said slowly. The tall alien's skin darkened. Cutting it will kill one of you. The bond does not choose which. Alex glanced at Rin. She stood straight, but her hands were clenched. Her eyes met his, and he saw something there, fear. Yes, but also a strange determination. The tall alien lifted a hand, and the floor beneath Alex and Rin shifted. Rings of light formed around their feet. The chambers seemed to dissolve, replaced by a high balcony overlooking a sprawling arena. Gasps came from the crowd, gathered below hundreds of aliens in tiered seats, up, their skins glowing in waves of color. This is the first trial, the tall alien's voice boomed through the air. The trial of strength. Alex's stomach dropped. Wait now. Rin stepped closer. Listen to me. This is not about fighting like humans do. Think fast, use the arena. And whatever you do, stay alive. The floor beneath them split, lowering them into the center of the arena. The crowd roared, a sound that seemed to shake the ground. Across from them, a massive gate opened. Something stepped out. It was huge, at least twice Alex's height, with 4 legs and a thick, armored hide that shimmered under the arena lights. Its mouth was full of jagged teeth, and its eyes glowed a deep, menacing red. The crowd's roar turned into a low, eager hum. Alex's heart pounded. He had no weapon, no armor. Just his human body and whatever instincts he could muster. The beast bellowed, the sound rattling his bones, and charged. Move. Rin shouted, pulling him aside just as the creature slammed into the spot where he'd been standing. The ground cracked. Alex scrambled up, adrenaline flooding his veins. He noticed the arena floor wasn't solid, was made of shifting plates. Some lower, some higher. He could use that. The creature turned, snorting. Alex backed toward one of the raised plates, waving his arms. Hey, over here. It charged again. At the last second, Alex dove aside, and the creature's front legs slammed onto the plate, triggering a hidden mechanism. The plate dropped. Suddenly, throwing the beast off balance, the crowd gasped as the creature stumbled, one side lower than the other. Alex grabbed a length of broken chain from the ground and looped it around one of its legs. Yanking hard, it crashed down with a thunderous roar. Pinned for just a moment. Rin leaped forward, pressing her hand to a glowing mark on the arena wall. The ground beneath the creature shifted, sliding it into a caged pit below. The crowd exploded into light and sound. The floor lifted. Alex and Rin back to the council chamber. The tall alien's eyes studied him. You survived, it said, but this was only the beginning. Alex's chest heaved, sweat dripping down his face. What's next? The trial of mind, the counselor replied. It begins at the next cycle, and there, strength will mean nothing. As they were led away, Alex glanced at Rin. Mind? Trial. What does that even mean? She didn't answer. She just said, pray you fear nothing inside your own head. The trial of mind, a cycle bell rang through the alien ship, a low metallic tone that echoed in Alex's bones. When the door to his chamber slid open, the same black-armored guards waited. Rin stood beside him, her skin pale silver now. The violet, faint, but still there. This trial is different, she said quietly as they walked. No movement, no weapons, no escape. Alex frowned. That's comforting. It is not meant to be, she replied without looking at him. The council chamber was darker this time. The glowing lines along the floor were dim, and the high pillars cast long shadows. The 12 alien counselors sat in silence. Their shifting colors slowed to a steady pulse. The tall alien in the center spoke, his voice low. Strength is the body, but mind is the true measure of the bond. What you see here will be of your own making. Alex swallowed. Meaning, you will walk the path, the counselor continued. It will show your truths, your fears, your lies. If you cannot pass, the bond will collapse. 2 robed attendants stepped forward, carrying a small black sphere. It floated between them, turning slowly. Surface shimmering like dark water. Step inside, the counselor said. Alex looked at Rin. She gave a short nod. I will be there. In part, but most of it will be only you. When Alex touched the sphere, the world around him dissolved. At first, there was only black. Then shapes began to form, blurry at first, then sharp. He stood in his old bedroom back on Earth. The same cracked posters on the wall. The same faint hum from the broken ceiling fan. Double quotes, hello Alex, a voice said. He spun around and saw Rin. Except, not Rin. Her skin was human, her hair dark, her eyes exactly the same silver. She was wearing the hoodie he used to own years ago. Alex's chest tightened. You're not real. The figure smiled faintly. Here, I am whatever your mind wants me to be. The door to the bedroom swung open. His father stood there. Except he wasn't the way Alex remembered. His father's face was shadowed, voice low and heavy. You left us, Alex. Alex's throat went dry. No, you ran away, the voice said, stepping closer. You left when things got hard. Rin's voice spoke behind him now. This is not about truth or lies, Alex. This is about the things you believe about yourself. The walls around them melted. The bedroom floor fell away into an endless drop. Alex staggered, trying to keep balance on a narrow bridge of light. From the darkness below, shapes began to climb. Human shapes, alien shapes. All with faces he knew, people he'd failed, people he'd disappointed. Their hands reached for his ankles. He tried to run. But the bridge stretched endlessly ahead. You cannot escape your own mind. Rin's voice echoed. One of the figures grabbed his foot. Alex kicked, but another grabbed his wrist. Their touch was ice cold. You can't save anyone, one of them whispered. Not even her. Alex's chest burned. He looked ahead and saw Rin, her real alien self, standing at the far end of the bridge. Her skin was deep violet now, her silver eyes locked on him. She reached out a hand. Come to me. Alex fought against the hands, pulling him down. One voice hissed in his ear. If you take her hand, you'll be bound forever. You'll lose your freedom. Another voice said, if you don't, she dies. The cold was spreading up his arms. His legs felt heavy. He didn't know if any of this was real, but the fear was. He took a deep breath. Not today, he muttered, and lunged forward, breaking the grip of the shadow hands. He ran the bridge of light solid under his feet now. Rin's hand was warm. When he grabbed it, the world shattered like glass. Alex was back in the council chamber, gasping for breath. Sweat dripped down his back. The tall counselor studied him. You faced yourself and chose the bond. Not many do. Alex turned to Rin. She looked pale but steady. You saw that? He asked quietly. Only the choice, she said. Not what you saw. Another counselor spoke, their voice sharp. 2 trials complete. 1 remains. The trial of choice. And this one? The alien skin shifted to a dangerous red. Will decide which of you walks away alive. As they were led out of the chamber, Alex glanced at Rin. What does trial of choice mean? Her voice was low. It means you will have to decide my fate, or I will decide yours. Alex stared at her, the weight of those words sinking in. This wasn't just about survival anymore, it was about trust. And trust, he realized, might be the hardest trial of all. The first trial of choice. Corridor to the final trial was different. Narrower. Colder. The walls here weren't smooth metal. They were dark stone, carved with strange spirals and symbols that seemed to twist if Alex looked at them too long. 2 guards walked ahead, their heavy boots echoing. Behind Alex, Rin followed in silence. She hadn't spoken since they left the council chamber. You're not telling me something? Alex said quietly, without looking back. Her voice was low. Because if I tell you, you might choose differently. He frowned. Choose what? You'll see soon enough, she said. But her tone wasn't cold, it was sad. The corridor opened into a large, circular chamber lit by a single beam of pale light from above. The council sat high in their raised seats, their eyes fixed on the center of the room. A platform rose from the floor, wide enough for 2 people to stand on. The guards led Alex and Rin to it, then stepped away. The tall counselor's voice filled the chamber. 2 trials have shown your strength and your mind. But the bond is not tested until one makes a choice that cannot be undone. Alex's chest tightened. What kind of choice? This one, the counselor said, and gestured. The floor around the platform shifted, revealing 2 long bridges of light extending into the darkness, one to the left, one to the right. At the end of each path, the counselor continued, is a control. One will break the bond, freeing you both. The other will seal it, joining you for life. Only one of you may walk to choose. Alex's heartbeat quickened. And if we choose differently? The counselor's skin darkened to deep crimson. Then the bond collapses violently. The weaker will die instantly. Silence filled the chamber. Alex looked at Rin. So, we have to trust each other. She met his eyes. Or one of us won't walk out. The counselor's voice rose again. Decide who will choose. That is the first step. Alex stepped toward her. I'll do it. Rin shook her head. No. Yes, he said firmly. This whole mess is because of me. I'll take the risk. It's not about risk, she said, her voice tight. It's about intention. The bond responds to truth. If you lie, too, yourself even in here the bond will sense it. Alex blinked. And you think I'd lie? I think. She hesitated, then added softly. That you would choose what you think is best for me, not for yourself. That's dangerous. The council grew impatient. Choose who will walk the path. Now? Rin's skin flickered between violet and silver. Finally, she said, I will go. Alex wanted to argue, but something in her voice told him this was already decided. She stepped toward the 2 bridges, one to the left, one to the right. The counselor's voice echoed once more. One leads to life together, one leads to separation. Both will change you forever. Rin paused at the fork. Alex held his breath. In the silence, a strange sound filled the chamber, a low hum that seemed to come from the floor itself. Alex felt it in his bones. Then, faintly, he heard something else, whispering. He glanced around, but none of the counselors were speaking. The whispers were in his head. Let her choose freedom. He shook his head, trying to clear the voice. Then, another came, louder. She will betray you. Choose yourself. His hands curled into fists. Rin, can you hear that? She didn't turn. She kept walking, her steps slow but steady toward the right bridge. Halfway across, she stopped. It's the light. Beneath her feet pulsed. Then she spoke, not to the council, not to anyone else, but to Alex. If I choose to break it, you'll live your life free. You'll go home. You'll be safe. And you? Alex asked, his voice tight. Her answer was quiet. I will fade. The words hit him like ice. He stepped forward, almost crossing the edge of the platform. But a guard blocked him with a heavy arm. Rin, he called. Don't do this. She stood there for what felt like an eternity. The hum grew louder, the whispers sharper. Alex could barely tell which were his own thoughts and which weren't. Finally, she placed her hand on the glowing control at the end of the bridge. The light around her flared, blinding. Alex shielded his eyes. When it dimmed, she was standing. Still, her back to him. The tall counselor's voice rang out. The choice is made. The bond marked a faint shimmer that had begun to form on Alex's forearm after the second trial glowed brightly. Then faded. Rin turned. Her skin was deep gold now, her silver eyes steady. It's done, she said softly. Alex's breath caught. You chose to keep it. She stepped back onto the platform. I chose what felt true. The counselor leaned forward. The bond is sealed. You are bound until death. This council recognizes the human as bonded one. The crowd that had gathered in the shadows let out a low, rippling sound, half awe, half unease, as the guards escorted them out. Alex whispered, Why? You could have been free. Her voice was quiet but firm. Because if I let you go, Alex, you'd never stop wondering why I didn't fight to keep you. And as the heavy doors closed behind them, Alex realized this wasn't the end. Being bonded was one thing. Surviving what came after, that was another story entirely. After the bond, the heavy doors of the council chamber closed behind them with a deep, final thud. Alex felt the sound in his chest more than in his ears. Rin walked beside him, silent, her golden skin glowing faintly in the dim corridor light. The guards didn't speak as they escorted them back through the winding halls of the ship. But Alex noticed something different. Before, the stares from passing aliens had been filled with suspicion or cold curiosity. Now, there was something sharper, a mixture of fear and respect. When they reached their assigned quarters, the guards left without a word. The door sealed shut. Alex leaned against the wall. So, that's it. We just go back to normal life now. Rin looked at him for a long moment. Nothing will be normal again because of the bond. Yes, she said. And because of what it means. Alex frowned. You're going to have to explain that one. She paced slowly, her steps deliberate. Bonds between my people are rare, sacred. They are not broken. They are not ignored. You are now part of me, and I am part of you. Forever, he tried to lighten the mood. Sounds romantic. Or terrifying, not sure which. Her eyes met his. Both. Before he could respond, the door chimed. It slid open, revealing a robed alien, tall and thin, with markings across his face like jagged lightning bolts. His skin shifted between deep green and black. He stepped inside without waiting for an invitation. I am Severick, he said, his voice low and cold. I speak for those who disagree with the council's decision. Alex straightened. That's comforting. Severic's gaze locked on Rin. You have tied yourself to a human, a fragile creature. A mistake. Rin's voice was calm but firm. It is done. Done. Severick stepped closer. It is. Not done until you survive the claiming. Alex's stomach tightened. The what now? Severick turned to him. The bond is recognized. Yes. But for it to hold among our people, you must endure the proving. Without it, you will be challenged. And if you fall, the bond breaks along with your life. Alex muttered. Of course there's more. Svevrick's eyes narrowed. The proving is in 3 cycles. Until then, you are prey. The words hung in the air like a shadow. Then he left, the door hissing shut behind him. Alex exhaled slowly. Prey. That sounds bad. Rin's skin flickered faintly. It means anyone who wishes to take my bond can try to kill you before the proving. Alex stared at her. Wait, so it's open season on me? Yes, she said. And it will begin soon. That soon came faster than Alex expected. Only. Hours later, as they walked through one of the ship's market corridors, the crowd parted slightly. Alex caught movement to his left, too fast to be casual. A figure in light armor lunged from the shadows, a blade glinting in its hand. Alex. Rin shouted. Instinct took over. He stumbled back just as the blade sliced through the air where his chest had been. The attacker landed hard, spinning to strike again, before Alex could react. Rin's hand shot out, gripping the attacker's wrist. Her skin flared crimson as she twisted sharply. The blade clattered to the ground. The attacker hissed, eyes burning with hate. You shame your kind, Rin. Rin shoved him back into the crowd. The onlookers whispered, their colors shifting quickly. No one else stepped forward. She turned to Alex. We need to get back to our quarters. Now, once inside, Alex paced. So this is my life now. Every few hours, someone tries to kill me. It will stop after the proving, she said. And if I fail that? Her silence was answer enough. Alex stopped pacing and looked at her. Why did you choose this? You knew it would put both of us in danger. Rin met his gaze. Because if I let the bond die, I would have lost more than my life. I would have lost the only thing in years that felt real. Her words hit him harder than he expected. That night, Alex lay awake, listening to the faint hum of the ship. He could feel something like a thread pulling between him and Rin. It wasn't physical, but it was there. He turned to see her sitting cross-legged on her bunk, eyes closed, breathing slow. You're awake, she said, without opening her eyes. So are you. I am listening, she said. To the bond, it speaks in its way. Alex hesitated. And what's it saying now? She opened her eyes. That the proving will not be what we expect. Her words stayed in his mind long after the lights dimmed. And somewhere deep in the ship, far from their quarters, Severick spoke to a shadowed figure. 3 cycles, he said. Make sure the human doesn't see the 4th. The final proving, the proving arena, was nothing like the trial chambers Alex had seen before. It was vast, open to a black void above, with jagged stone platforms rising from a shifting pool of glowing liquid. The air smelled sharp, like metal and ozone. 1,000 alien eyes watched from the terraces that circled the space. The council sat high above them, silent and still. Alex stood at one edge of the arena. Across from him, Severick waited, his dark armor catching the dim light. His skin flashed deep red and black, a predator's colors. Rin stood near the council platform, not allowed to join him. But Alex felt her presence through the bond like a constant pull. The tall counselor's voice rolled through the air. This is the proving. The bonded human will fight the challenger. Victory binds the bond forever. Defeat ends it. Severick stepped forward, his voice cutting through the silence. I will end this insult to our kind. And when you fall, Rin will belong to no one. Alex didn't answer. Words wouldn't help him now. The counselor raised a hand. A deep gong rang once. The proving began. Severick moved fast, faster than any human could. His blade hissed as it cut the air toward Alex's head. Alex ducked, feeling the wind of the strike brush his hair. He rolled across the stone and came up. Near one of the glowing pools, the light shimmered strangely, distorting the air above it. Severick advanced, each step deliberate. You survived the arena by luck. You survived the mind trial by chance. But here, he slashed again, forcing Alex back. You will not survive. Alex kept moving, keeping distance. He remembered Rin's warning. Use the arena. Think fast. Severick lunged again, but Alex sidestepped, letting the alien's weight carry him forward. Severick's foot landed on a cracked section of stone, and the platform tilted. For a moment, Severick stumbled. Alex grabbed a loose shard of rock from the ground and threw it at the glowing pool. The shard hissed, melting instantly. The air filled with a sharp, burning smell. Acid. Alex. Alex single quotes as heart pounded. The fight turned into a deadly dance. Severick's strikes were precise, forcing Alex toward the edge of the arena. The bond hummed in Alex's mind, a strange awareness of Rin's heartbeat, her focus, her fear. Then, through the bond, he felt a flash of thought that wasn't his own. Behind you, Alex spun just in time to block a low sweep of Severick's blade with a broken metal rod he'd grabbed from the ground. The impact jarred his arms, but it kept the weapon away from his body. Rin's voice came through the bond again, faint but clear. The stones near the center, they shift. Alex backed toward the middle of the arena, dodging another strike. His foot landed on one of the darker stones and it dipped slightly. He smiled. A trap. He lured Severick forward, feinting left, then stumbling back as if off balance. Severick took the bait, rushing in for the kill. Alex stepped onto the shifting stone and leaped aside at the last second. Severick's weight triggered the mechanism. The stone dropped suddenly, tilting into the glowing pool. Severick caught the edge, snarling, his blade clattering into the acid below. Alex stood over him, breathing hard. The crowd's colors flickered wildly: reds, golds, violets, Severick's grip was slipping. Acid hissed below. End it, he spat. Prove you're worthy. Alex hesitated. This was the moment. If he let Severick fall, the bond would be safe. If he pulled him up, he risked everything. He looked at Rin. She didn't speak, didn't signal, but he felt her through the bond. Calm, waiting, trusting. Alex reached down and grabbed Severick's arm. With a roar, he pulled the alien up onto solid ground. Severick collapsed, stunned, his skin shifting in confusion. Alex straightened, facing the council. I'm not here to kill for your approval. I'm here because I chose the bond. That's enough for me. The tall counselor studied him for a long moment. Then, slowly, his skin shifted to gold. So be it. The proving is complete. The bond stands. The crowd erupted, a wave of sound rolling through the arena. Rin ran to him as the council dismissed the assembly. Her eyes searched his face. Why did you save him? Alex gave a tired smile. Tia, because that's who I am. And now, they all know it. For the first time since the accident in their apartment, her skin settled into a steady, warm gold. Then we begin our life as bonded, together. As they left the arena, Alex glanced back once. Severick was watching them, his expression unreadable. Alex didn't know what would come next on this ship, on this journey, in this strange new bond. But he knew one thing. It had started with an accident. It had become a fight for survival. And now, it was a choice they'd both made, one that no trial could break.